Hi, Sarah here with a layout process video. This is the final one in the Chinese Whispers challenge, and this layout was originally Joe's, which was passed to Cindy, then to Amanda, then on to me. So for this one I'm using my Mind the Scrap April kit. I'll be leaving links below if you want to join in the challenge. That's in the Facebook group for Mind the Scrap, and also I'll leave a link if you want to get hold of one of their kits. So for this one I'm using all those scraps from the side there, and I'm creating a paper cluster for the center of my page. So at the moment I'm literally just going through all my papers, finding all the smaller pieces so I don't end up cutting into a new one if I don't need to. And I haven't decided at this point if I want to do it on that turquoise paper or not. I do actually chicken out and go with white, but I do want to do a background with that at some point because I do think it helps the papers pop. I think it does look nice. I've just not had the guts to do it yet. I keep going back to white or black, but I will do at some point. So here I've just grabbed a few papers and I'm layering them up. At the moment it's quite a large cluster, but I do bring it in and shorten all my pieces to create a smaller piece. And then I've also got the star vellum there as well. So here I've just cut out all the pieces ready to assemble, and I'm just trimming down my photo, which I will then back onto some cardstock in a second. So you may have noticed at the beginning of the video a little guest. That's my new kitty cat, so he will probably be featuring in a few of my layouts coming up, but he likes to come in the craft room and have a good old whinge at me and then disappear again. So he's a lovely half Maine Coon, I think, that I rescued. So anyway, moving on. As you can see with that weekend paper, I chopped that in two to give the illusion that it was one long piece to put behind the whole lot there. And then I've selected from my words there, I've selected Smart there, Heidi Swap, Gold Acetate Words, so I've chosen that for my title. And then I've also got down the side some of the One Canoe 2 butterflies that I'm just going to add a couple to the layout as well because they work so nicely with the colour of the papers. I know it's a boy and flowers and butterflies again, but I don't really care. I just go with what colours I think look nice. So here I feel like the papers don't go together as well as they could, so I wanted to make them pop off the white cardstock, and I wanted to kind of bring them together. So I used distress ink in black soot and went around each one with a sponge applicator and just added a bit of a black border in ink for them. And here I'm just faffing again, trying to work out how I want my paper cluster to look. And then I'm using my ATG gun to glue them all down now. And I think I end up adding another blue piece to the other side because I feel like it just needs a little bit of a coloured border on that other side to break it up a bit, because there was black and white going straight onto the weekend black and white, and I felt like it was too it blended too much and it needed something to pop in between it. So I use my mat also here to line up my papers in a minute so that that weekend is in a nice straight row. Yep, here I am just adding a little bit more turquoise, just a slither to add next to that black and white to break up the two black and white papers there. But I have actually forgotten to ink that piece, but I do notice later on, and because it's ATG gun tape, if you're careful you can literally just peel it apart and put it back together again. So that's what I did with that in a bit. So here I'm just gluing down my photo. I've got some foam tape, funky foam I think it's called, craft foam from the children's department bit in Hobbycraft, and I just chop a bit up and stick it to the back of my photo to help my photo stand out from the papers in the background. And then now I'm just sticking everything back together again. they do keep falling apart because I've not put that much adhesive on it just yet, and then once I'm happy with it I'll go back over the whole of the back to add extra tape to stick it down. So this is pretty much what it looks like from now on. I do a tiny bit of faffing, but that's about it. I've added a bit of that star vellum, which has got a sort of rose gold coloured stars on it, which is really pretty, which matched what the layout that I got given to scrap lift this time around. Oh, and there was, I think I had a couple of marks on my white cardstock, so I just flipped it over and stuck it on the other side. And now I'm just adding my butterflies and trying to pick ones that contrast the colours underneath them, and there's my title there as well, which I move further down so that it's not, so it's more close to the photograph, just there. And all I've done for that is added a bit of ATG gun tape to the back of it. And I finally managed to use some of my enamel shapes that came in the kit as well. And these ones are green, dark green and glittery, and they're very pretty. And then I was trying to add some other bits like the flare, some more enamel pieces, some of the ephemera by Vicky Boot in there, I'm going through it. And then also I went through my chipboard sheet, but I just couldn't find anything that I felt would add to it rather than be too much. So for once I actually didn't add that much embellishment to this one. I felt like the papers, because they were so bright and colourful and layered up, I felt like it was enough interest without having to add a load of ephemera around the paper as well. And there I made a bit of a mistake because the little stopper thing from inside my ink just fell on the page, but I just carried on. And then there I'm just adding a dot of ink over the top of where it left a little line, and then I'm just dabbing up the rest that smudged onto my title. So no massive no massive deal really. And that is it, I'm done. That's probably one of the simplest layouts I've done, but I'm really pleased with it. Thanks for joining me. Here's some close-ups at the end. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and there'll be useful links below. Bye!